If you find yourself stressed out without being able to pinpoint exactly what it is, you might have a nervous system that is stuck in a stress response. Now, I don't believe that we should be aiming to achieve zero stress in our lives. A little bit of stress can be a good thing, but for most of us, we're starting at a really high baseline, and it's not because of anything external, it's because our nervous system is stuck in the stress response. So I have a dog, a little Jack Russell called Baker, and he can sit quite perfectly on a chair. But what's happened is a cat has taken a liking to the very same chair. Now, when the cat is in the chair, there isn't much space for Baker to get up on there. Now, the cat is kind of like this extra stress that you don't need. So in this video, I'm going to show you 4 different things that you can do to get rid of the cat. And by cat, I mean get rid of the unnecessary stress in your life. I'm going to be going through this process over the next 24 hours. I feel like I need a bit of a nervous system reset. So I'm going to show you everything I do through this process, 4 different things you can do to reduce the nervous system stress in your life. The first thing you can do is to ground. This makes it even better if you can get your feet into wet soil. Now, before you think this is some hippie nonsense, grounding is based on some really solid science. So I'll put up a quick picture where you can see what your blood looks like before and after grounding. And basically, what happens when you ground, you're able to absorb free electrons from the earth. Now, this is something we don't do enough in our modern lives. We're wearing shoes or we're inside. And as the name suggests, electrons related to electricity. So if you have some weird charge built up and you haven't been grounding, the electrons are going to be off in your body. And this means your nerves can't speak to each other properly. They literally communicate via electricity. So if you want to make sure that your nervous system is reacting in the right way, you want to make sure that you're grounding frequently and ideally in some wet soil. The second thing you can do, and this is often overlooked, you may notice that I am in the countryside at the moment. One of the problems with living in a city and our modern lifestyles is that we see too many regular shapes. So everything in buildings and things like that are squared off and shaped neatly. This is completely unnatural. When your eyes perceive this all the time, it actually causes a subliminal stress in your brain. So by getting outside into nature, looking at these irregular shapes, you help to reset your nervous system because that constant perfection is not actually natural and causes a subliminal stress in your brain. So just by getting out, I'm literally going to be here for the next 24 hours, out in complete nature, just allowing my nervous system to actually relax. So the third and fourth thing you can do are really cool because you do them in combination. The one thing is doing red light therapy, and specifically on the back of your neck. This is where most of your nerves originate. And if you have any inflammation in this area, then that's going to be impacting your nerves. So by doing red light therapy in that area, that can greatly help. But you can pair this really well with a breathing technique. Now, I personally don't enjoy most breathing techniques. A lot of them are very complicated, but this one's from a really cool book. It's called Transforming Trauma, and it's called soft belly breathing. It's very simple to do. And the idea behind it is that when you breathe and you're under stress, you breathe into your chest a lot. And by breathing into your lower belly and your diaphragm, you stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system. So I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be able to get everything in frame here. I've got to keep the microphone on as well. But I'm going to be using the portable My Light Move. It's really nice because I can literally switch this on, and then I'm going to put it into the back of my hoodie over here and just rest it over here while I do my session. And then I'm going to be focusing on breathing through my belly. Now, a great little trick is to use both your hands. You place one on your chest, one on your belly or your abdomen, and then you just focus on not letting this one raise up and allowing your lower belly to lift as you breathe. So very slowly. Now, I don't focus too much on counting the breaths. I will try and breathe slowly, but with this technique, the main thing is just that you're actually getting your diaphragm to activate. So you're breathing through your lower belly, keeping your upper belly still, and then doing this for 10 minutes. I find this combination extremely powerful for reducing my stress. I will often do it in the middle of the day if I feel a little bit stressed out. Literally 10 minutes, red light therapy, back of the neck, combined with breathing through your belly, and you will feel like a completely different person afterwards. Now, even though I have to get back to the real world and back to my normal work, I will do this from a place of a much lower stress. And the stresses I face now will actually be real ones and not just because my nervous system is in this default stress state. If you want to learn more about red light therapy products, I've done a video where I discuss the 3 things you must look for in a high quality red light therapy device. There's a video over here. Go and check it out and make sure that you don't buy the wrong device.